Welcome to camping with Steve and Crazy Neighbor today. We came back out to what we'd set up last week. We were experiencing some very low temperatures, minus 35 or so, and we were tempted to see how this would work, of course. And yeah, midways through filming, we did get a call that Crazy Neighbor's father had passed. So thank you to all those who have expressed condolences and donated to the veterans, etc. So we're going to take another crack at this today, a week late, but it's a little warmer in temperature. This will be heated with propane. It's something I do so often that I don't necessarily mention it or give the full rundown of heating in the winter inside a tent with propane. So we're gonna get a campfire set up and we'll get the rest of this set up. And this is about the third or fourth time we've used this new ice fishing shelter. It's not actually a tent. I don't think this is their recommended use for it, but for the price point, can't be beat.
Oh, I already got the other one.
I know the general favorite traditional method to heat your tent would be a wood stove. And I've done that before. I like the ambience, I like the crackle, and they sure heat the tents up. The only downside is you have to keep getting up throughout the night to keep the fire going, or every time I woke up in the morning I was cold. So as far as convenience goes, I've moved on to one of these catalytic, it's a Mr. Buddy brand heater. The catalytic ones, the way they're designed to burn is that they should not, under normal operating circumstances, release any measurable carbon monoxide. So in the United States, these are permitted for indoor use. There is a low oxygen shutoff, which is essentially just it's a thermocouple there. And if the oxygen gets too low in the enclosure, the flame trips out and it shuts it off. However, carbon monoxide alarm, that's what I always bring just to be sure. And make sure if it's really cold weather, you put lithium AA batteries in them, because lithium are good till like minus 40, and regular alkaline battery would stop working well before then. So this is 18,000 BTUs. This propane cylinder, they got around 430,000 BTUs in a full 20-pound cylinder. So that you don't want in the tent. So these tents actually have propane portholes here. So you can, they're designed for people to be ice fishing, and this is like the favorite method for heating your tent when ice fishing. So we'll run that through, turn this on to low. We really don't need it too much right now because the sun is shining and it's a beautiful day out. Okay, that lit disturbingly easy considering I haven't had propane in that hose for a while. Sometimes you have to bleed the air through the line until propane starts to come out. So, bingo. This model's got the three settings. You know, you got your low, which I believe is 4,000 or 4,500 BTUs. Your medium is 9,000 BTUs, and the high is 18,000. And that should do for most cold weather situations in an insulated type of tent like this. So I'll let that kind of cook a little bit. We are just walking on the snow, which I don't find to be a big problem because we generally have our boots on until we're ready to crash for the night. So you know, we could have, I suppose, shoveled everything right down to the ground, or tried to, but this time of year there's been so many freeze-thaw cycles that the snow doesn't want to be pushed around like it should. Of course, any fuel burning appliance is going to need an air supply. Now, these tents actually come with built-in, there's a couple of these, little screened overhang air sources. But I also cracked another little window a bit. 18,000 BTUs. That's 18 square inches. I guess it's not that much when you look at it, but there's air leaks all over these things anyhow, so we should be okay. Yeah. When there's daylight is the good time to plan out where the fire pit goes. Going to remove the snow off of the top because it does repel the water. You can see it beating down a little bit, but it's not completely waterproof. If that melts, it will come through along the inside a little bit. Okay, shelter's set up. We got our little fire pit area here. We scavenged around for some wood and chainsawed up a few pieces here and there to complement what we brought from the wood pile last week. We got a little tripod thing we're going to cook on tonight. That's all good. And at this point, all the work's done, so let's get started. Time for delicious step 2.
Delicious, nutritious.
Delicious,
Step
nutritious. Oh yeah, rehydrating. Yeah, cheers.
2. Cheers, Steve.
Yeah, we're going to try to ration this wood a little bit because we do have some, but I know how things will go. We'll be halfway cooked, and we'll have to try and go looking around in the dark for more firewood. But oh well. Inside the shack, we turned this on to high to see kind of what the temperature would do. It's getting actually uncomfortably hot, to be honest. So we're going to turn that down. But my readings on my Temperaturetron say outside is -6 Celsius, which is 21 Fahrenheit, and inside is actually just jumped up to 18 Celsius, which equals 64 Fahrenheit. So
Toasty.
I'd say it's toasty. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it tested in the supreme cold weather that came barreling through. It's usually we get a week or two of that -35 Celsius or -40, which is Fahrenheit and Celsius, it's the same. -40 is just -40. And we'll see what happens with the weather, because they got the weasel that predicts the weather, and it either saw its shadow or didn't, or whatever it's supposed to see, it saw. And, you know, we could be in for an early spring. I don't know. That never seems to happen. So, beautiful wife and I are probably going to take off somewhere, go sequester in the mountains somewhere with a little warmer temperature than here. But we'll see what happens with that. Cheers. A little barbecue starter here. We'll get ourselves a tried, tested, and true fire. Hold my beer.
Absolutely.
An issue. Oh, flashback. Okay. Just has to start this. There we go. Oh, maybe it was a little cold. I'm not sure what MAP gas vaporizes at temperature-wise. Maybe it just a little bit cold for it.
It was sitting in the snow.
Yeah, that's true. All right. We should probably go. Smell of kerosene barbecue starter.
I love that smell.
I do too.
Well, I gotta say, Steve, you got a knack for lighting fires.
Thanks. It's certainly warm.
It is.
You ever seen a UFO?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like aliens. It's just something that I didn't know what it was, but it was pretty weird.
Maybe a satellite or something.
No, not really.
Hmm.
I was hunting with my buddy Andy. It was in the late 80s. We were in southern Alberta antelope hunting, and beautiful sunny day, and we saw this thing up in the sky. It looked like a football, and then there was this spiral of smoke coming down off of it. And I'm really disappointed that Andy didn't take a picture of it, because at the time he was working for a small newspaper in Spruce Grove as a photographer, and he had all kinds of neat camera equipment. And we looked at it and said, yeah, wow, that's really weird. But I never thought to take a picture of it. But I don't really know what it was, but yes, the answer is yes, I saw a UFO. I don't think it was alien, but nonetheless, it was kind of weird to see.
I picked up this little tripod-y thing this summer, which is pretty convenient. It packs up pretty small. I think I gave the name of it out in another video, but I picked it up from Home Hardware in Canada. It's kind of like a little franchise system of small town hardware stores. Anyhow, got a Dutch oven here, and I picked up some stewing beef. So you could probably guess what we might be making. And some stewing beef on there. I just got one of those Clubhouse packages of stew mix. Calls for vegetable oil and brown up beef. I pretty much just throw everything in and let it simmer after that. So brown this stuff up. Then we're going to be in business.
Small one on. There we go.
No matter what problems you may have in your life, you can never go wrong with onions. This seems to fix everything. Whoa, that is hot. Ooh.
It is, yeah. There you go.
Oh, that's browned up. Camping stew time. I bought Clubhouse beef stew mix, and I'll put it in with some beef broth. They say to use water, but can't go wrong with more beef broth. And this is not the gourmet hour with Steve, of course. I'm the living example of why becoming a chef takes school. But I don't know, we'll come up with something to eat. It should be not very gag-inducing. Okay, and it goes. Stir that up, and then basically we'll simmer it to death until this meat is falling right apart. Oh yeah, good boil going there. I'm gonna bring this actually into the tent. We're gonna try and simmer this on the Mr. Buddy heater. it's doing a real good job out here, but we're going to bring the tripod in, set that up on the Mr. Buddy heater, and just see what happens. So, you know, what could go wrong? What could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? Here's the deal. We got the tripod over top of the Mr. Buddy heater, and it's been simmering for a little bit here. It's perfect. What can I say? We're both shocked about this, eh?
Very much so. It's working great.
I didn't think it would work that good. We've got cardboard down on the ground here. I know. What could go wrong? We're just trying to keep the snow from melting right underneath of it and creating a mud puddle. Crazy neighbor had suggested the cardboard. And I'm allowing it, but I'm keeping a close eye on the suggestion here because of the whole what could go wrong aspect of what we're trying to do here. And yeah, we're going to dump in all our potatoes and peas and carrots into the stew. Don't want to do that too early because basically we're just tenderizing the meat. These are already cooked in the cans. Dump them in. Not a problem. So that's where we're at now. That's our temperature reading, actually. That will be a good update to provide. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Outside is minus 15 degrees Celsius, or 6 degrees Fahrenheit. Inside is, well, it was up there, so it's a little warmer up there, but not by a whole lot. Inside it's 25 degrees Celsius in here, which equates to 76 Fahrenheit.
I'm amazed at how well that's working.
I'm shocked. Okay, I have to say, the Buddy heater, I knew they threw some heat, and I know they have a new model out there. I saw it at Cabela's the other day, and it actually is designed to cook your food and heat your building. They have taken notice that people are doing this type of thing. So there is a new product out there. I forget what it's called. I forget how much it costs, but it exists. So that's a good thing. Yeah, just simmer this up, and we're going to be eating good tonight in a
that is hot.
A downright tropical 77 Fahrenheit. Can't go wrong with that. Minus 15 outside. That's well, Celsius and 6 Fahrenheit. Okay, let's dig into this and we'll see what we got here. She is actually just at a beautiful simmer. Time to dump in all the can of potatoes, diced white potatoes. A couple of them probably. Ooh, the lid came off that one. Danger. And nothing wrong with peas and carrots. Peas and carrots. Okay, we may need a little more. No, so I guess we'll see what happens. It's going to be heavy in the pea department. Oh, look at that meat. It's flaking apart already.
Awesome.
That's just fine. Okay, when I stir it up, it doesn't look like it's pea soup anymore. That's okay. I didn't do mixed vegetables because they had parsnips in them. Yeah, it was, I couldn't believe it. You ever eaten a lemon before like it was an orange?
Oh yeah.
Really? Just peel it and eat it by the segments?
Yeah, it's just like an orange. It's not that bad.
Not that bad.
No, really. You know, taking a little bit of a lemon and then taking a whole segment of a lemon, it's like once you bite into it, you get that first initial rush.
Yeah, the tartness or the bitterness.
Then after that, it's pretty much gone.
Yikes. Okay.
The only reason I ever did that was because in my younger days, drinking tequila, we would always drink the tequila with the lemons, and just for I'll call it shits and giggles one time. We decided, okay, well, let's just, see if we can eat a lemon like an orange. And yeah, it can be done. It's not that bad.
Not that bad.
No,
that's the best way to describe.
No.
The best way to describe a food. Not that bad.
Yeah.
Oh, mercy.
Yeah. Well, what's the worst thing you've ever eaten?
I made iced tea with pickle juice out of a pickle jar.
Good thing we haven't eaten yet, because that would make me hurl, Steve. Iced tea with pickle juice. My God.
To put the crystals right into the juice out of a pickle jar.
They called me crazy? Yeah.
It is time for dinner. We've got a couple of mismatched bowls. What's it look like in there?
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good to me too. It's why do I feel like I'm working at a soup kitchen here? Oh, that is so flaked apart. Okay, grab that guy there. I'll get a fork for you. Spoon in a little for myself here. Oh wow, it's like pulled beef. It really is. The tray buns. There we are. The actual finished product. I'm sure actual chefs would be horrified by what we did. I think is probably the good use of the word. We've made the decision the cardboard's going to come out of here because the Mr. Buddy heater is listing already, and I can see it coming tumbling down. We'll get it level, and it should provide stoichiometric combustion throughout the rest of the night, hopefully, if we're to avoid any carbon monoxide, but we do have the alarm. And this is the prime time to thank all of the extremely generous people who have sent beer donations, kind comments. People have sent a few things in the mail. We got the cardboard moved away from under the propane burning appliance so that we don't die as easily. Crazy neighbor is warming up a little dessert. Cinnamon bun. I don't like sweets, so I'm going to abstain from this. But yeah, we're about to tuck into bed, and I guess we'll see what happens throughout the night, but we're going to be so warm. It's not even a worry. We're going to be super warm here. See you all in the morning. Yeah. Good night. Oh, that didn't work. Good night. Oh, that worked.
Turn on the dark.
Well, that was a successful propane-powered slumber here. You're warm last night? I was
toasty warm.
Toasty
warm. Yeah, it was
I had to turn the heat down as soon as the sun came up. This is actually awesome. Mind you, it's not cold outside right now. It's probably -3 Celsius. So
yeah, not bad.
Yeah, it's like 29 Fahrenheit or something. I don't know. It's in the ballpark there. Anyhow, the minimums and maximums. The maximum temperature in here yesterday, over the last 24 hours, was 34 degrees Celsius,
Wow.
which is 94 Fahrenheit. We did have it up higher in the roof things there, so down here it was still pretty warm.
Oh yeah.
I would say. The
Melted
minimum.
all this snow right here.
Yeah, it's not even mud; it's leaves. And
Yeah.
that's good. That's good stuff. The outside temperature was -15 Celsius was the low yesterday, which Fahrenheit-wise is 5 degrees Fahrenheit. So we could have probably survived a lot colder than what it was.
Oh yeah.
And if we get a little colder weather, we're definitely going to try and push the limits of what's considered safe or responsible to be doing camping-wise. I didn't mention also, when you're using a big propane cylinder, like a bulk 20-pound cylinder, there is a, this is going to shut off as soon as I move it here, but there's a filter. It's this inline filter that I've just got on here, and they're reasonably cheap, but without it, the Mr. Buddy heaters get fouled pretty quick. I've heard people say it's from some oils in the pipes or a few other theories on it, but it's also probably just a lower quality of propane. Like, you never know what you're getting when you're filling up a bulk tank of propane. Anyways, stew for breakfast because we made way too much stew. But I got to work with the package that, you know, I dump in there. That's what determines the size of the meal, because it says 1 kilogram or 2 pounds of meat.
Yeah.
And then I got to balance it all out, and I end up with this huge heaping helping of food. So anyway, yeah, no, that was pretty good. Gonna probably tear this down. We did get approved for that Starlink. Elon Musk blasted off all those satellites that are flying around, and you get this little satellite dish, and they send it over, and it moves around and stuff, and it supposedly gets incredibly good speeds. It's delayed in shipping though, because it was supposed to be here tomorrow on Friday. We're just filming this morning here on Thursday for the Thursday video, but yeah, it should be here. Supposed to be here Friday. It's delayed, so we'll see. But hopefully the next video that I upload gets uploaded from home, and I can actually just shoot it right up into space, and
rather than driving your parking under a tower,
parking under cell towers hither and yonder. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I suppose yeah, we'll get the day rolling here. We'll get moving and see what we can see. So we were running that high for quite a while, and yeah, it feels like we got a third of a propane cylinder left. And my rough calculations would be on high with this is called the Big Buddy heater at 18,000 BTU. On high, that would run about 24 hours straight. So we've had this running for quite a bit, so I'm not surprised that it would be down the way it is. But yeah, it's a pretty good setup. Can't complain about this. The fire pretty much burned down to nothing at all last night. There are just a few ashes left here. This poplar, so it burns pretty good. It's leaves a lot of crazy neighbor.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah, yeah. Poplar doesn't produce a lot of heat, but it for outdoor campfires, yeah, it's just fine. It does the job. So yeah, we're about to wrap this up and start hauling this stuff in, and go for my last time, hopefully having to park under a cell tower to upload a 6 gig file, or however big this one's going to be. So thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for joining us on this little camping trip, and there's sure to be more. So if you like this type of thing, please consider you know, subscribing, and if not, I'll win you over one day. Cheers, guys.